made waves this week, donning a hat supporting Texas Democratic Senate candidate Beto O'Rourke before a road game in San Antonio. It's hardly the first time LeBron has waded into political waters, making numerous public statements about President Trump in recent months and campaigning for Hillary Clinton back in 2016. But LeBron isn't the only NBA player whose political stances have made him polarizing. According to the market research firm Morning Consult, a new survey names 4 NBA players among the most politically polarizing celebrities, with LeBron 5th, Steph Curry 15th, KD 19th, and flat earther Kyrie Irving 25th.
Hey, man.
These 4 NBA players were the only athletes named on this list. All right, guys, I think it's a bit of a mistake for NBA players to dive this deep and attach their brands to politics. Politics is the most divisive thing we have in American history. It's a rough sport. It's the roughest sport we play. It's more hard-hitting, and there's probably more CTE in politics than in all the National Football League. And I just don't understand why athletes would want to be this polarizing, wading into politics. I think it's a mistake.
I think it's smart business. I think especially if you read the tea leaves and you see the sign of the times saying that polarization is profitable. Think about it. All the guys on this list and gals are all hyper successful, uber successful, next level successful. That the one commonality when you read that list, I'm like, superstars. And then I start to look at athletes in particular and starting to look at sports. I'm like, who makes the most money in athletics? Floyd Mayweather, polarizing. Not for political protest necessarily, but just polarizing. So what's become synonymous is divisiveness and polarization, which has led to profits. I am not upset at the athletes or the entities that are allowing these athletes to have these platforms, because at the end of the day, it means more money and more success and more adoration for these athletes, no matter how divisive it is.
Well, number one, the athletes that we just showed, they all have their own shoes, so they're a bigger brand than most any other athlete right now. However, athletes now are more informed and have values and have beliefs, and they want to change the world. They want to be remembered for more than just playing the sport that they played as a child. They evolve into men that want to put their mark on the country that they believe in and the people that they believe in, and they can be wrong. I don't think that once we attach ourselves to a political party or a person we're attached to them for forever. No, LeBron tweeted about his speech, the Beto speech, which was an inclusive speech. It was a well thought out speech, but
Which speech? You talking about the one about Kaepernick?
The one about the kneeling.
Yeah.
The one about kneeling, and he gave some information and had an informative speech on a topic that was near and dear to LeBron's heart. So this wasn't the first time that he spoke about Beto. And I think that it's good for our culture, because there are kids looking up to these athletes, and they're showing that they're real people, that they're just not about the dollar. They're not about the shoe that they're selling you or the game. They're showing that they're full, well-rounded people. And I think this is helping our society, where kids need to be more informed, need to vote, need to come out and change the country that we believe in.
Here's what my take is. Like you said, athletes are more informed. I'm not so sure. I think they believe they know more. They're more attached to social media and a Twitter level of understanding of certain events. But what I think athletes are just more famous and far more wealthy than they were in the past. And fame and wealth are a dangerous cocktail for me. And fame and wealth, to me, a lot of times, you can go from the highest office to the lowest office. Fame and wealth undermine, to me, your intellectual evolution. And we seem to think the reverse, that somehow being famous and wealthy makes you more thoughtful and smarter than everybody else. I don't buy that.
I don't believe that, and that would be like saying that all our opinions on this desk do not matter. Just because me and Marcellus played a sport, our opinion does not matter. Yeah. Like everyone's opinion matters. Saying only politicians' opinion matter. Just because they have more information, they may not be as informed as a normal American. Athletes are Americans. Athletes have values. They have beliefs, and I think that just because you're famous does not mean that you should not be able to just speak your mind and say what you believe in. it. And if it comes back to bite you, it does. But you're not supposed to be perfect.
Yeah, it's weird that that dangerous cocktail you talk about. I heard it in different lanes of our existence. So the cocktail of wealth and fame usually undermines, as you said, maybe some of your depth of knowing this. There was a time where it was a dangerous cocktail to be beautiful. Because they said, probably you don't have the best personality, because hey, why work on the inside?
For me. It's been a problem. I know exactly.
It is a problem.
It's a problem
for you.
Yeah.
You're right. The beauty. So it's funny that cocktail has. We've come to know that not everyone fits into that grouping. But here's a dangerous question or a dangerous statement to make: that athletes don't know politics, so therefore. How do you know that the athlete doesn't know politics? And I'm not around LeBron 24/7. I don't know his reading materials. I don't know what he's doing when he's not Instagramming about some new rap CD. Who knows what he's doing in that spare time? But we all have that spare time. Maybe he is giving it food for thought.
Here's my point, though. I'm not saying that we should dismiss their opinions. I'm saying we have elevated their opinions and that we give it more credence then I think it's worthy. And I say it again, it's not about athletes. Fame and wealth. And I will apply that to anybody, from the highest office in this land to the lowest. Fame and wealth undermine, I think, your understanding of a lot of issues. And this is what I'll say as it relates to LeBron James and tossing on the Beto hat. And again, and maybe LeBron knows this, but these would be the questions I would ask LeBron. I was like, have you ever heard of a carpetbagger, LeBron? And because there's a long history of carpetbaggers. People from the north or people from a coast that go down south and they know better than the locals and what should be going on. LeBron has no connection to Texas, none. He looks like a carpetbagger. And trust me, that's what the people in the South, as he comes down and puts on a hat and throws his support behind Beto O'Rourke, like, hey man, you ain't from here. You don't know nothing about it here. You come off like one of these coastal elites or northern elites that know better than me down here in the South. And it's off-putting. And so he may think, hey, I'm throwing on this O'Rourke hat, and it's good for Beto. And Beto may have sent it to him because, again, all these guys are celebrity chasers, jersey chasers, whatever, may think it's good. But I would sit here and go, I think the people down south are like, oh, here comes another northern carpetbagger trying to tell me what I should do down here in Texas.
Tremendous point. And I don't counter that point, but I wanted to look at it from this angle. Taylor Swift, who came out recently with her political ideas and support.
Famous celebrity.
Famous, wealthy. But the baseline of what that did and to a fan base, her fan base, and then it activated them to actually vote. Now, she may have activated them to unilaterally vote for what she supported, but at least she got the people out there in droves to vote. Now, LeBron James talking about something that he doesn't live in locale, but is still interested in, may drive that base, whether it's the Texas base or just his own fan base, to go out and vote. And we all know we had an issue with voting, especially in our last election. So at bare minimum, it's going to bring some energy to something that needs to be activated.
Right. I think that at bare minimum, it just engages a conversation and has you to research who he's representing. So, and I think that engages the youth to think about these decisions and actually pay attention to the candidates and start doing their research. And just because LeBron is in line with somebody who's inclusive, he's in line with that man. Like he may have sat down with Beto. He may have spoken to Beto. He may have done his research about Beto. I do think that if he's done something, if he wore that hat, he did his homework. His team did his homework. They are very informed about how he represents himself in public, and that he may be in line with him on some issues. Maybe not at the man in general. It's not his twin. He thinks exactly like Beto, but it's something that he's falling in line with, that he believes in an inclusive conversation.
And my thing about Beto, we've given him credit for he's inclusive or has put on the appearance of inclusiveness over Twitter. And again, that's where I just get, we're all caught up. Because Twitter is ground zero for clout chasing, celebrity chasing, jersey chasing. If you want to chase, go to Twitter and chase popularity and blah. And it's just not a very deep, it's the shallowest end of the pool. Yeah. And that's where I just see athletes and other celebrities, other people attracted to fame, the most famous person in America right now loves Twitter. And it's the shallowest end of the pool. And so to me, it's like everybody wants to be critical of the guy in the highest office, but they want to act just like him and do the exact same thing. It's hypocritical to me, and that's what I look at it. And again, I look at LeBron running down to Texas to have an opinion on what should go on in Texas. And to me, that's a carpetbagger.
Well, look here. It may be the shallowest end of the pool, but that's based on your relative experience. Even the shallow end, I have a 3-year-old. It's still wet, and you better know how to swim depending on who you are, right? And there are a lot of you who don't know a dang thing about politics. And so LeBron is talking to them who can't swim even in the shallow end. So respect to that. And 2, I'll give you this example. You've been there before. We've all went to the local school and spoke to the kids, elementary level, let's say that. And we walk in, 1, 2, 3. You know what the ranking is in terms of reception and the volume that we speak from? You're in 3rd place. I'm in 2nd place, and he's in 1st place. Because you're a journalist, and this has nothing to do with respect. It's just, you sit there, we have Jason Whitlock. We have Marcel Squad, play football. We have Dante Jones, play basketball. And once you're that guy, what comes out of your mouth is going to speak volumes and at least say something. And whether it's right or wrong, he is at least saying something.
You made my point. If we all 3 spoke, they should listen to me the most. But everything is rigged the other direction.
It's been that way before social media, though, Jason. It's been that way. Yeah?
That's true. All right, thank you, Dante. Coming up, and man, I don't want to apologize for that arrogance. Coming up, LeBron James has been preaching patience, but did the latest Lakers loss push him to the breaking point? Marcellus tells us what's